Hi, this is Bernadette Logue from pinchmeliving.com, and the topic of today's audio is about a fundamental key for physical, mental and emotional healing. So let's get into that right now. Okay, so the fundamental key that we're going to be talking about in this audio, which supports physical, mental and emotional healing and balance, is something that is fully understood and supported and has been known for a very long time and is well embedded in two particular areas, and that is one, spiritual understanding, spirituality and spiritual ways of viewing life. So it will not come as a surprise to anyone who lives from a spiritual space. And two, in the consciousness movement. So spiritual or not, people who understand consciousness, the power of human awareness, the power of human consciousness and awareness on energy, and the fact that bodies and mind and emotions are all energy, and therefore your mind has an impact on it. Okay, this fundamental key is well understood spiritually and in consciousness movements. It is less understood but increasingly talked about in terms of a more logical, mainstream scientific approach. Now, the fundamental key is this: if you want to be physically, mentally and emotionally balanced, and you want wellness, and I mean wellness in terms of physical health, but just well-being in terms of happiness and inner peace and equilibrium and balance and revitalization and feeling natural and feeling calm, then you need to understand this. The fundamental key is that the way that you talk to your body is having a very real impact on your physical manifestation of health, and therefore also on your state of mind and on your emotional state. Your mind and emotional state have an impact on your physical body and therefore your physical health, and your physical health and well-being has a flow-on impact and uplifts or takes its toll on your mental and emotional state. So it's cyclical. It cycles up and up or down and down. Now the thing is that you can talk to your body. The cells of your body are energy, they are intelligent, and they respond to environment. And part of your environment is not just the physical world you're living in. You are a spiritual being. You are a soul having a human being experience. You are energy embodied within a physical form. Your physical body is energy. Your mind is energy. Your thoughts are energy forms. Your emotions are energy. Your physical environment is energy, and you are non-physical form as well. And you're a holistic being, and it's all working in a cycle. And a key part of that, again, which is understood spiritually by many and is understood in the consciousness movement, is that your thought patterns are affecting your physical, mental and emotional health. Now, when we say your thought patterns, you need to understand that your self-talk inside your head is part of that. So I would say to you, how do you talk to your body? And you would say, I don't talk to my body. And I would say, you do talk to your body, because whatever you're saying inside your head to yourself all the time, you have trillions of cells and they are listening to you every single day. You get up in the morning and you say, I'm so exhausted and I feel so sick, or I'm so tired, I'm so worried, and all of your cells are listening to you. Now, I'm not saying that the way that you talk to your body is the be-all and end-all for your physical health and your mental and emotional state. That would be ridiculous to say that, but I'm saying it has a large part to do with it. This is not discounting anything else that you do for your physical health, your mental state, and your emotional well-being. It's not saying be polarized and swing to the extreme and be, 100% all about the consciousness movement and spirituality and ignore anything that's physical, logical and mainstream. It's about being balanced and understanding it's all correct. It's all correct. You do need to look after your physical body. You do need the benefits and beauty of mainstream healthcare and physical well-being and all those things that we know work, but you must understand that the cells of your body are listening to how you talk. There's amazing work by Bruce Lipton about the cells responding to, in your body, responding to environmental signals, and part of your environmental signals is picking up on the messaging that's coming from your mind and from your emotional state. There's wonderful videos on YouTube about that, and he's got a brilliant book, The Biology of Belief. Aside from that, if that's of interest to you, I just want you to think about how you talk to your body. So what are the internal messages that you're constantly running in your mind? What are your thought patterns? happens? What do you say to yourself about your health? What do you think about your health? What do you think about your mindset? What do you think about your emotions? And how does that cycle? Is it feeling of a positive, uplifting level, or is it of a predominantly negative level? It's not to say you have to be perfect. It's not saying that you need to positively think good thoughts all the time. You're human. You're going to have times where you've lapsed into negative thought, but the predominant state is what will tip the balance. So you want to be asking yourself, what is my predominant message that I am giving to my body? And you want to realize that you can consciously and actively talk to your body. You can get up in the morning and talk to the cells of your body. You can meditate and say, cells of my body, I am well. Cells of my body, I ask you to demonstrate the most optimal and purest form of cell behavior to support my physical, mental and emotional health. I've got a relaxation audio, I think it's called white light meditation on YouTube. You can listen to that. Within that audio, it guides you into a deep meditative state, and it has you talking to the cells of your body and lighting up all the cells of your body to ask them to work together in unison. That's just one example. You can just do it on your own. You can sit with your eyes closed and talk to your own cells and ask them to work to your benefit and tell them how you want them to operate and function. This is very powerful. Your cells are listening, and the power of the words that you are sharing with your body and instructing your body with will have an impact. And another example, I mentioned Bruce Lipton already, another example which is really fascinating, and many people already know of this man's wonderful work, is Masaru Emoto's work with water and the research he did and the material that he produced. He's got books and there's videos on YouTube you can easily access about the impact of human consciousness, thought forms and emotions on water. What that research showed was that as he directed and they directed in the research, high vibration, positive and loving words, consciousness, thoughts and emotions to water versus negative, unkind, ill intent thoughts, words and consciousness and environment to water, and studied the crystallized forms of that water when it was frozen. The water that had been subjected to the loving and powerfully positive material crystallized into perfect structure, perfect, beautiful structures. And the water that was frozen after being subjected to negative vibration, negative consciousness, negative words, thoughts, emotions, did not crystallize and was in shards and very ugly patterns. Now what's really interesting about that is that your body comprises approximately, from various research I've looked at, somewhere between 55 and 70% water. So if your body contains water, how are you talking to your body? Because the water in your body, there's research showing what it does and how it responds to loving, positive, healing consciousness in words versus negative. So it's just another angle to look at and to consider, wow, if that's the case, imagine how much of an impact I can have on my own physical, mental and emotional health by how I talk to my body. Now I'm going to give you two examples from my own life of how this is practically true in my experience, and I'm going to give you two tips about how to use this to your benefit or the benefit of somebody that you know that is physically or mentally, emotionally unwell. Okay, so first of all, the examples. I can recall numerous times earlier in my life where I was not a conscious human being and was very lost in my mind and didn't really know anything on these sorts of topics. And I would think, God, I wish I could just have a sick day so that I didn't have to go to work. This was when I didn't really love my work. Now, I can count multiple times when within 2 weeks of me having actually said that out loud, I fell very sick and was stuck at home for multiple weeks with things like chest infections and bronchitis. And looking back now, it's just laughable because I actually created my own illness time and time again like a hypochondriac, and once I learnt about all of this and changed my mindset, I have not been to the doctor for years and years, and have amazing health and do not have any of those problems anymore. The second thing is that I had a shoulder injury in 2014 and it wouldn't heal, and I found myself after some time stuck in a pattern where I was quite negative about it and I couldn't figure out how to get this to resolve. And even with all my consciousness, I had lapsed into this pattern, and I realized I was not necessarily talking to my body in a way that was helpful. I realized that, shifted the pattern and did some energy healing and brought really positive, powerful messages to my body, and that injury after 7 months healed within 1 week. Now it's going to be different for everyone, and I know this is only my own example, but I know from my own experience that this is true. And so I want to share that with you from my heart, from my experience to you, okay? Now I'm going to share with you something that you can practically use. What I want you to think about is in relation to your own health to start with. So your own physical, mental and emotional well-being. Often when you're not well, you might meditate on wanting to be well. You might pray if prayer is something that you do. What I want you to realize is when you meditate, when you visualize, or when you pray, whatever your particular practice is that you are not asking to be no longer sick. You're not asking to be healed from sickness. You are visualizing, meditating and praying on gratitude for already being well, because your cells are listening to you. So as you're praying or you're meditating or you're visualizing, and you're visualizing not being sick, all you're doing is bringing in the message that you're currently sick. And so you want to just constantly bring in a message to the cells of your body that you're grateful for being well and that the cells are functioning optimally and that your health is in balance, and sending that message in its purest form. Now when it comes to another person who is unwell, if you would like to support them with your own consciousness and loving energy, what I encourage you to do is this, and it takes a lot of discipline, particularly if the person who is sick is someone you really love. Because if you've got someone that you really love that's physically, mentally, emotionally unwell, you feel very emotional about that and upset, and it's very easy to get caught in a negative train of thought of, oh God, what's going to happen, oh this is awful. What you need to do is you need to power up inside of yourself and hold that person in your meditations and your visualization and in your prayers, if that's what you do, as healed, as healthy, healed, whole and complete. You do not think about them as sick. You do not meditate about them as hoping that they're not sick. You literally hold them in your mind as the pure, healthy individual that they are, exactly as you would if you were doing it for yourself. Because here's the thing, at a soul level and at an energy level, there is a healed, healthy version of them in spirit side already. It's just not currently manifest in the physical form at present. So visualize, meditate or pray on what you know they are as a soul, whole, complete, healthy, well, physically, mentally and emotionally balanced. Hold them as a picture in your mind, surrounded in bright white light, glowing with the health that you know they truly have at that energy level, not as the sick person that you're currently being faced with and distressed about. So I know that that sounds like it might not be that easy, but you can do that, and that is really, really powerful for them. So I hope that this audio has been helpful just to raise your awareness of how you talk to the cells of your body, how you use this information to encourage you to proactively daily talk to the cells of your body in a way that will optimally lift up your health and have your cells working in alignment with those really positive messages, and how you can help yourself if you happen to be experiencing health equilibrium issues or anyone else in your life that you would like to support. If you would like to receive more audios and videos that support you to unleash your inner peace, freedom and success, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I regularly share audios and videos at least once a week, and I would love to stay connected with you. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you the absolute best.